Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Danica's Wrestling Talk Show, where I don't give a damn about my reputation.
Yep.
I think me and you called it about 2 weeks ago that she'd probably would return.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people have hated it, a lot of people have liked it, but I think someone as big as her, when they come back, they usually win it.
Yeah.
And to be honest, for me, I think it was probably the right call. I know a lot of people have really been hating on Ronda winning it, but like, who else would have won it? Really, I mean,
Yeah.
the only other woman really that I could have seen winning it was probably Rhea.
Yeah.
Every other
Definitely.
woman in there, well, Charlotte isn't winning it because she's only just recently, won
The
it.
title, and there was
And
no
then
real point.
you've got Bianca Belair who won it last year.
Yeah.
And the, Banks would have been a good one because she's a big name that hasn't won a Rumble, but obviously she got
Yeah.
eliminated early. The only one who went deep, who apart from Ronda, that you could see genuinely winning it would be Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
But I don't
Yeah.
really I don't really understand the hate with her coming back and winning it because I thought it was good.
Yeah. It was
I
a good
thought it was
Rumble.
good. I thought it was good.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't. I mean, there was a lot. There was a lot that could have been done, but I was happy with the end result anyway. So
Well, do you know what, mate? Let's just start off right there. What did you think of the pay-per-view as a whole?
good. I think we should start off reviewing each match. Like the Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns match, excellent.
Phenomenal,
Yeah.
absolutely brilliant. That was that was a top draw quality match. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you had obviously the women's rumble, which we'll come on to that. Then we had Doudrop and Becky. I would have preferred Doudrop to win, but it was always and it wasn't exciting sort of thing. We had two exciting matches beforehand. I think the crowd was a little bit like, oh, calm down sort of thing.
Yeah.
Then we had the mixed tag match. It was obviously going to be Edge and Beth winning it.
No, it was Thingy first.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah, yeah. Brock
Lesnar,
actually, what another banger of a match that was.
Unbelievable match, yeah, absolutely unbelievable. Again, yeah, and then obviously the mixed tag.
And then the tag match with the mixed tag match. You know, Maurice isn't very good. She wasn't very good originally, and it just shows in this match that she can't wrestle, mate. That's it.
I agree. Obviously, we'll review it in depth later, but I will forget about that, so I'm going to pick up on that now. What you've just said was exactly what I was thinking, but didn't say, and Nat did say. Nat was like, because Nat has only been watching wrestling with me for 4 years, so she's not really seen much of it. She's seen Maurice have three matches, all with Miz, and she went, "Wow, Maurice really is shit, isn't she?" And I went, "Yeah." Do you know what? Do you know what though, Kevin? I've got she wasn't the best 10 years ago when she was wrestling, but is she a great wrestler? No, she's not the best, and she never has been. But I do feel a bit sorry for her because she always gets absolutely crucified. And half of it is rightly so. She's shit, but I want to defend her a little bit because I do feel a bit sorry for Maurice because she's not a wrestler anymore. She doesn't wrestle. Like, the last time she consistently wrestled was about a decade ago. I don't think people realize how long ago it was when Maurice was wrestling. It was a decade ago. For the last 10 years, she's not wrestled. So she always keeps herself in shape because she's a healthy, fit person. But she's not wrestling. She's not, she probably goes 2 years without wrestling at all. And then all of a sudden they'll go, "Oh, Maurice, we want you to do such and such a thing." We're amazing. She'll go, oh, right, okay. And then she'll have 2 weeks to take a couple of bumps and, and then it's like, right, you're off. But it's always on a big pay-per-view, on a big card, and she's thrown in at the deep end, and she's given
good
a
at
couple of,
storytelling.
I feel a bit sorry for her because she's not even a wrestler anymore. And it's almost like WWE, because we as fans want to see it. We wanted to see John Cena and Nikki Bella versus Miz and Maurice. We want to see Edge and Beth versus Miz and Maurice. Like, as a fan, we want to see it. But I feel a bit tight, like, what you've just said is fine. She's not a very good wrestler. That's just factual. She's just not very good. But people absolutely berating her and slating her. I'm like, she's not even a wrestler anymore. She's not been for over a decade. And she's she's always thrown at the deep end and told that she's got a match on a week's notice. If they told her, right, we want you to have one more run. You've got 6 months. We'll probably would see a much better version of her. But she can go 2 years without wrestling at all, and then she'll have a couple of weeks to just have a few bumps and not just but she's not very good.
Especially when you compare her. The problem is, I think if she was in the ring with, say, Carmella or someone like that, it would have been fine. But because she was in there with Beth Phoenix, who is quite clearly got it still, just like Edge, it doesn't look good for her.
See, that's the difference. You see, people would come back at me and say, "Yeah, but what about Beth? She hasn't wrestled in a long time." Yeah, but Beth has always had it. Beth was a trailblazer. She was like, when she was doing this week in, week out, she was probably the best women's wrestler that they had. She was amazing. You never lose that. All Beth needs is to up her probably up her stamina levels a bit more. She could probably have another run now, the same way that Edge has. Everyone is different, and someone like a Carmella or somebody like that. If she took 10 years out and then came back, she'd probably look a bit pants as well. But I just wanted to say, yes, she's shit, but I do feel a bit sorry for her at the same time. And then obviously the last one was the men's rumble match. We'll start off with the Roman versus Seth for the title. I don't know about you, but mate, when I heard Sierra Hotel India Echo Lima Delta,
I immediately thought, when that happened and he turned out with the Shield's music and all the Shield get up, I thought, shit, Moxley's coming back. Moxley's going to screw him somehow.
I thought,
oh, that would have been brilliant. Him coming back, putting the chair, and then Roman picking up the win. Obviously, that didn't happen. But
but I mean, to be fair, when me and you were saying a few weeks ago about Mox returning, we did say, look, this is complete dreamland and fantasy stuff. But that's the whole point of us running a fan channel. Like, with fans, like, you want to think, oh, how cool would this be? Like, we're not saying it's going to happen, but it would be cool. And you know what? I've always said this. I wouldn't be surprised if one day he does come back for a little bit. I don't think he'll ever come back permanently. I think it'd very much have to be on his terms.
Part-time thing.
I think
few days.
Same with Chris Jericho. People, and I said the biggest. What you asked me, what would get me the biggest pop, and I said Cody Rhodes. That for me probably will never happen, just because he's too deep within AEW. I think that would be a little bit messy. And a little bit really difficult to do, because he's pretty much he is pretty much the Vince McMahon of AEW, because Tony Khan is basically the money man, but when it comes to storylines and the writing of the shows and bringing it all together, that's all Cody. I feel like Cody's too high up within AEW for that to ever happen. But I must admit, for a split second, I thought, if I see Mox come out behind him with the gear on, and you know what, I don't want to get a little bit too far ahead, because I do want to talk about how good of a match it was. But the first point that I did want to mention with that match was, I was a little bit frustrated with the crowd. To be honest, I was a little bit frustrated with the crowd at a lot of points of it, to be honest, because when there was booing and, it weren't just a boo. When the match ended, right,
Yeah.
for me, it wasn't just the boos that annoyed me. It's the way that you can see the fans go, "Oh, what a joke. This is fucking bullshit."
Yeah.
It's like, what other way can you end that match?
Yeah.
For
How would
me,
you have put that?
yeah, like for me, that's booking at its best. Like you can't end that match any better way than that.
No.
Like, yes, I've always said this. Yes, it is frustrating when you've got such a banger of a match going on and it ends like that. Yes, it is frustrating. But with this one, whoever beats who clean weakens the other one.
Yeah.
It just does. Like, if Roman just pins Seth and beats him clean, where does Seth go from there? Because
Yeah, exactly.
this has been a very slow, progressive build with Seth now for the last 2 years, where he's been slowly clawing himself back up to that title picture. And if Roman just beats him clean, it's like, well, he's right back down to square one. And if Seth beats Roman for the belt, where does that kind of leave Roman? You know, the way that they did it was brilliant. Seth has been poking him and poking him and poking him and poking him and poking him. And I think what Roman did that was really, really clever, or what I should say, whoever it was, might have been Vince, it might have been a different writer, I don't know. Whosever idea it was to have Roman show that it was affecting him is very, very clever, because this tribal chief persona that he's been doing for the last 18 months to 2 years, it's been very much, I'm the tribal chief, I'm the head of the table, I don't give a shit about anything else. I don't give a shit about you. I don't care. I care about my family, my bloodline, my title, that's it. Like, anything's happened in the past, not bothered. And it's like, this is me now. I am the face of WWE, and this is me, and I don't care about anything else. He really, really showed, and obviously someone has told him. He's talking to Seth in the match. You think this is fucking funny? You stabbed me in the back. You fucking broke my heart. You destroyed everything that we built together. You ruined it. You ruined us. You fucking destroyed us. I will never forgive you for that. And you're laughing about it. Like, he's showing that he's not forgiving him for stabbing him and Ambrose in the back. And he never will. And he's showing that it's still affecting him. And when you look back at what Roman's done in his promos, the promos that he did with Owens, the promos that he did with Edge, the promos that he did with Daniel Bryan, the promos that he did with John Cena, it was very much, you can say whatever the fuck you want, but I'm the tribal chief, I'm the champion, I don't care what's happened in the past. Cena kept making comments about, oh, Roman's actually learned how to cut a promo. And he's like, yeah, very funny. Like, that's in the past, not bothered.
Yeah.
Whose ever idea it was to tell Roman, look, show that Seth coming out to the Shield music, wearing the gear, mentioning Mox, mentioning hitting you in the back with a chair, breaking up the Shield, and him laughing in your face about it. Show that it's affecting you. That's the first time in 2 years that Roman has let anything affect him. Never mind something that happened years ago.
Yeah, no, it was just great storytelling, and the way it done it as well was it puts an end to it. Because obviously on Friday they had another promo, and he was right. Seth said he's never beaten him ever. Roman Reigns, he's beaten all these people. He's never physically pinned him or beaten him one-on-one ever. And so I think what happened there, obviously after he got DQ'd and then grabbed the chair and then just kept hitting him, I thought that's the end of their feud now. That's the end. He can go back to Raw. Roman can carry on SmackDown. That was a perfect end.
But it keeps them both strong.
Yeah, exactly. It keeps them both strong. Keeps the belt on Roman, which I don't think they want to do. They don't want him to drop it yet.
I wouldn't have him drop it I wasn't even thinking about it right now, to be honest. Because when was the last time that we had a reign go? We're approaching 2 years.
Yeah.
But when was let him have the belt for 3-4 years. That's when it's a shock when he does get beat. Because someone having the belt for 18 months, 2 years, that happens quite regularly. Still, once it gets to like 3 years and 4 years, that's when it's like, this is historic. Then when someone does beat him, it really is a kick in the bollocks to every fan. It's like, oh my god, like he's actually been beat. For me, I agree with everything you've just said. That anyone booing it, I get the disappointment because it was such a great match, but this is boring. It's not boring. That's brilliant. Like, I texted you earlier when we were talking about it, and I said people wouldn't know good storytelling if it jumped and slapped them across the face. They really wouldn't, because that for me is perfect. Seth has spent the whole 2 weeks since he was announced as his opponent, and then during the match, poking him and poking him and poking him, and he snapped.
Yeah.
He snapped, and he's had enough, and he's ended up getting himself disqualified because of it. And for me, you can't end that match any better. There was nothing more. The only thing that they could have done that would have made that match better was Mox.
Yeah.
Mox getting involved. That's the only way that you make that any better than what it was. It had everything. Yeah. It was a good match. It was great continuation of the same story. And like you said, it felt like it came to a very decisive end with those chair shots after chair shots. So for me, perfect. Yeah, Women's Rumble. Yeah. Mate, this goes for both Rumbles. The only thing that was wrong with those Rumbles was no NXT surprises. That annoyed me.
Yeah.
Just have one. It doesn't matter. Just have one. And because I've seen people on Twitter going, "Yeah, it's difficult though because like who are you bringing up from NXT now?" And it's like,
sorry about that.
It's all right. It's all right. Like
someone's walking past the house. Sorry.
It's all right. Dogs will be dogs. People are saying, who do you bring up? Well, first of all, LA Knight's ready, Tommaso Ciampa's ready, Raquel Gonzalez is ready, Dakota Kai's ready, just to name a few. So there are people that you could have brought up, but people forget Adam Cole has entered a Royal Rumble. He didn't get brought up.
No.
Damian Priest entered the Royal Rumble 12 months before.
Walter as well, last Rumble.
Yeah, Walter. It didn't come up. Like it doesn't. Keith Lee was on NXT when he came into the Rumble, and he didn't. It was about 6 months later. This does happen. Like this has happened for the last few years. There has been 2 or 3 years ago, Kacy Catanzaro entered the Women's Rumble.
Yeah,
it has happened. It doesn't. They don't always come up, but having someone have one or two from NXT in both men's and women's would have been good. For me, there was enough surprises in the women's, and the reason why I say that is you have the big shock with Ronda, whether you like her or not. That was a shock.
Yeah,
and it was a damn good. It was a damn good one as well. That was a really good surprise. Sarah Logan. I thought that was a really nice surprise, and I'll tell you why, Kev. If I'd have said to you, name 100 women that will return at the Rumble, would you have named her?
No, never.
I wouldn't have. That's a brilliant return. That brilliant return. I mean,
another thing as well is that I would like some of these returns to come back. If you know what I mean.
There's 3. Sarah Logan.
Yeah.
Alicia Fox. She's been around for ages. It'd be nice if she were back. And Cameron.
Yeah.
I mean,
the problem I had as well with the women's one, it was fairly good. It was good match.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
The only gripe I had through the whole thing was all the people that were coming back, the surprise people, lasted more than 2 or 3 minutes. Melina should have been in there longer. You could see it when she was welling up with Sasha Banks being number 2, and then she gets thrown out before the next person comes out. And that was like the theme. So you had Ivory as well from Right to Censor. She went off. Molly Holly didn't even get in the match. She wasn't even eliminated. She got beaten up outside by Nikki Ash, and that was it. She didn't even get into the Rumble. So I don't know. I mean, that happened before with R-Truth. And then they stuck him in the match, didn't they, with Brock Lesnar? Because he was the one who won it. And Brock just chucked him straight over the top. But yeah, there was loads like that only lasted
a lot.
It's even Sarah Logan.
Yeah, I was really shocked. She lasted what, 40 seconds?
Yeah, but you could see it that her and Liv were going to team up.
Yeah, and
Um,
yeah,
I obviously Mickey James was always going to be in there longer. The Bellas,
yeah,
but yeah, some of the ones like Cameron, all those people that came out, they were only in it for a couple of minutes.
yeah,
And it was like, what's the point?
yeah. Cameron and Sarah Logan, them two annoyed me because I wanted a bit more of an interaction between Naomi and
Yeah,
Cameron because obviously, if you've watched Total Divas, you know how close them two are.
yeah,
Cameron's been gone for what, 6 years?
yeah,
Gotta be at least six. And hey, I've got to say, Kev, I don't think I've ever been so happy ever to hear that music again. Somebody call my mama.
yeah.
Somebody call my mama. Yeah. It was again. It was Cameron was another one.
Yeah,
Again, if you'd have named 100 women, you'd have never have named her.
yeah. And then you,
So in the women's, there was some good. Oh shit!
yeah.
Cameron, Alicia Fox, Sarah
But
Logan,
they didn't
Ronda.
last long enough. Melina was another
No,
shot
no. Yeah. They
because
didn't.
you had Kelly and Summer Rae and
Michelle
all of them.
McCool.
Yeah, they didn't last very long. They were in and out, and it was like,
Hey,
why?
Kev,
Why bring them back to like 2 or 3 minute spots?
I think something's happened, with Summer Rae.
Yeah,
Because when they announced her on Raw or SmackDown last week, whichever one it was, I think it was Raw,
yeah,
she looked so pissed off in the crowd.
yeah.
But it wasn't like...
She was pissed off anyway because she went on Twitter. If you follow her on Twitter or Instagram, she put that she was pissed off because it was supposed to be a surprise that she was back. And then WWE announced everyone that was coming back. And she said they were never supposed... When they pitched it to her, they said she was never going to be announced. She was just going to obviously be a surprise entrance. And then they announced it without telling her. And she said she was pissed off with that.
But that was sounding like an arsehole, though. Would you have cared?
Well, no.
Would anyone have cared? Like, really? Like, I'm sorry, but it's like, she looked dead pissed off. And then in the match, when she did some little back kick on Natalya, and then she screamed at the fans, "What do you think of me now?" And it's... To me, it didn't feel like she was acting. It was, yeah. And then she did, and then
She was Eve Marie before Eve Marie.
yeah, like no one cared about her. Like she's just...
If you watch her back when she started,
yeah.
her character and what she was like was definitely Eve Marie. She couldn't really wrestle. She was just there to shout around. But yeah, she's like you're saying, if she come out, everyone would have gone, "Oh, it's Summer." Some of the people would have gone, "Who?"
Yeah.
But that's how memorable. But
yeah,
she had a long... I remember back when she was in it, I think it was 2007, 8, all around that sort of time. She did have a big feud with Natalya. And so that's why they kept mentioning it. And that's why she went after her as well.
Yeah,
because
I get all that. Yeah, no, I understand all that. And to be fair, I don't think they like each other either because on Total Divas, they always clashed. I don't think they get on at all. But it was where in the crowd when she was on Raw and she was scowling, and then in the match when she did the kick on Natalya and she's looking at the crowd going, "What do you think of me now?" And it's like, you think that you're Paige returning, and you're not.
Yeah, no.
Like she's expecting the fans to go, "Oh my God, Summer Rae's back," and pop like it's Paige returning. When in reality, people are going, "Oh,
yeah." Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'm not. I don't mean to sound like an asshole or be disrespectful because I don't know her, but no one cared about her back then, and it's what wrestling is a cutthroat business, and if you're not over, you're not over, and she never has been.
No. But it was, like I said, you had Michelle McCool and Kelly, and they just weren't in it long enough. I would have liked to have seen more from Melina. She was a very good wrestler when she was originally in WWE. She went on after WWE and had a really good career in Impact or TNA. I wanted a bit more from her, but yeah, to do her like 2 minutes, it was a bit like, oh. And it sort of set a precedent for the whole thing, didn't it? It's sort of like everyone that come out, like Sarah Logan, all those, and you were like, oh wow. And then they done 2 or 3 punches.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like, really?
But Kev, to be fair, the only ones that annoyed me really were Cameron and Sarah Logan. When they were eliminated quickly, I was like, oh, that's fucking annoying. Like, they should have got longer. The problem is to be fair, Michelle McCool was in there about 10 minutes. Michelle McCool was in there a while. A lot of the others that didn't last long, you've got to think, a lot of the storylines within the match are involving people that are there every week, that are, full-time, like today's roster. It's like they're bringing them back for them as a thank you for them and what they do in their career. But it's for me, it's for the entrance. It's the music to it. They get their entrance, they get the fans cheering and clapping them, which is something that they're not going to have many times. Some of them might never. Someone like Lita might never do that again.
Well, she said this was her last run, which kind of says to me that we're going to see more of her, which is really good.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, but there's a few that they might never get that pop again. They might never feel that from the crowd again. That's what it's about for them. I think some of them being eliminated quick, like Ivory and stuff.
Yeah.
Melina was different because it was so early on, but later on when there's like 15 women in the match, it has to be an in and out because there's too many women. There's not enough room to do what needs
to be done.
Don't forget. I
Yeah.
just want to say, don't forget the Royal Rumble is always a bit messy anyway because we know that it's changing all the time, even during the show.
Yeah.
Vince will go, well, scrap that. I'm not doing that now.
Apparently he was doing that right up until like an hour before he was going through it still. So yeah. But what the next match was obviously Doudrop and Becky, which I felt from the crowd didn't care. I wanted Doudrop to win. I thought elevating her like they want to. I think putting the title on her would have been a good thing. But it's a bit like, well, where do they go with Becky after this? With Doudrop, it was new, so it was fresh. So you could have given her anyone, really. But with Becky, it's a bit like, well, who now? Who calls up now?
I mean, to be fair, I actually kind of feel it's a bit too soon for Doudrop because I don't want the same thing to happen to her that happened to Rhea Ripley. They give her the belt and it's too much too soon. Like, give her a bit of time to get used to being in the, this was her first big pay-per-view match.
Yeah.
Give her a bit of time. Give her another 12 months. Give her some big keep pushing her. Keep giving her some big matches and maybe put a belt on her in 6 to 12 months' time. I think the problem is with Becky at the minute, who realistically do you have beat her for the belt? I mean, for me, I'd Baszler, but it seems like she's on SmackDown now.
The only one I can see now is Rhea. Bianca Belair.
I'd give it Rhea.
Yeah, it needs to change. I think she needs to drop it now. She obviously she won it from Bianca Belair at SummerSlam, and what has she really done with it since? That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah,
we need a bit of change, a bit of a fresh look, because with what's happened in the rest of the Rumble and everything else, SmackDown is now bolstered. We've got obviously Roman Reigns. You're going to now have Brock Lesnar on SmackDown. You've got obviously Charlotte and Ronda are going to have something running in.
But I mean, who does she pick though? Because it's so easy to think. Because I did the same thing. I said, well, Ronda's picking Charlotte. She might pick Becky because the main event of Mania was the three of them.
Yeah. Could we get a rematch?
But I mean, Ronda now has got to pick one of them, but she's picking her two opponents from Mania, which was the last time that we seen her.
I would imagine it'll be Charlotte, just because of their interaction in the ring and everything. At the end of the Royal Rumble, there, that's where I think she's going to go. But then it star-stubs SmackDown a bit.
Definitely.
Roman, Brock, Charlotte, and Ronda. all on the same show, and then you go to Raw, and who have they really got? You know what I mean? There is some great guys. It opens it up more, I think, on Raw. There's a bigger picture there. But on SmackDown, it's sort of, you're going to try and get all of them on screen every week, which is going to push other people away. You know, I mean,
to be fair, I don't really remember anything significant from that match.
Yeah,
from the and I think that kind of says it all. It's nothing really against Doudrop and Becky. I think it was a multiple.
You got to think we had a banger of a match.
Then the
obviously,
Rumble match.
Yeah, and then we had the Rumble. So everyone's was high, and then it came down a bit.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, "Oh yeah." I said this before, didn't I? I said at the Rumble, it feels almost like they've got one match, and then they're like, "Oh," look, and they're so excited, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, we've still got other stuff to happen," and it sort of goes down slightly. We'll move on to the next one, which was obviously Brock Lesnar versus
Brock Bobby.
Yeah, what a great match!
Unbelievable match. Yeah, it was everything that we hoped for, and again, brilliant storytelling.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's the only way as well. Yeah. One that keeps them both strong. You get Roman come out, cost them the match, keeps their storyline going till WrestleMania, which we knew was going to happen. And I think it was the best solution because otherwise it was going to be for both of the belts. And I think they want to keep them separate. Also, as well, I said to you, didn't I? I said, if anyone wins the Rumble, who are they going to pick title-wise? Because the plan was for Brock versus Roman.
Yeah.
And I said, what's it going to be? Now, obviously, we know, but...
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But, I mean, it's perfect. It is
but
absolutely
it opens it up
perfect.
now because you've got... the next pay-per-view is obviously Elimination Chamber. It's at Saudi. And there's going to be an Elimination Chamber. So it's going to be, obviously, Bobby Lashley. But imagine the opportunities. You're going to have Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins in that match. They're probably guaranteed to be in there. And then there's other people as well.
Drew McIntyre?
Yeah. So Drew McIntyre's on SmackDown. Remember that?
Well,
I was surprised actually when he came back. We'll get onto that, but yeah, I was surprised how quick.
I was surprised because I read he was going to be out for at least 6 months.
Yeah, he's got a neck injury. He had a neck injury. That's why he went. That's why they sort of.
I don't know how he's back.
No.
Yeah.
No, but it opens the field up, doesn't it? But yeah, I love the bit as well where Roman speared him.
Yeah.
Brock, and then looks at like Paul Heyman, and then Paul Heyman sort of reluctantly gives him the title, and then he whacks it. He looks at the title, doesn't he? He just laughs at it. It's like this is crap. This one, I've got the better title. I love that fact as well, where Roman was looking at the WWE title and he was like laughing, like chuckling, like this title, I'm the Universal Champion.
Yeah.
And he sort of just whacked it and chucked it, and then walks off slowly like he does with Heyman as well. Yeah. So it was perfect.
It was. Everything that they did was perfect, and I think what they did really well, really cleverly, was because I don't know about you, I didn't see it coming. I didn't think Roman was going to come out and get involved at all, because what they did very cleverly was they somehow managed. This was what WWE did so well years ago, which for me they're starting to do well again now. Yeah. How did we not see that coming? It's like, oh yeah, Roman and Brock still hate each other in a rivalry, but because for the last 3 weeks they've had them on separate shows, and it's all been Roman versus Seth on SmackDown, and then Brock versus Lashley on Raw. You forget. And then when you're watching Bobby versus Brock, you completely forget. And then the second Roman comes out in space, and you go, oh shit, yeah, these two are still in a rivalry. Yeah. And I think him costing Brock the belt, and then Heyman walking off with him, and you go, oh my God, was it all work?
Yeah,
Roman
the plan of Edge?
Yeah,
was it
Roman saying Roman saying you're fired and Superman punching Heyman, was it all bollocks? Was this the plan all along?
We'll find out what I mean. With WrestleMania season coming up, we're going to have some really good. I just want to point out there were so many people not in the Rumble or on the show at all. So we had no Usos, we had no Viking Raiders. Like you were saying, there's so many names that they could have still had there, and they
Finn
just
Balor,
weren't.
I don't know if Finn Balor's injured, but it's the only thing I can think of as to why Finn Balor wouldn't be in the Royal Rumble match is if he's got an injury.
You got Cesaro as well, the one in it.
Asuka, where's Asuka?
Yeah. Also
genuinely,
as well,
where is she? I think it's pretty obvious that Bayley clearly isn't fit yet. If Bayley's fit, Bayley's in that match.
One thing I want, I follow Lacey Evans online on Twitter and she's been working out, and obviously she's just had a kid, and I was thinking she must be due back soon as well. She's got to be. I mean, it weren't that long ago when Rhonda had her child, so
about 6 months, 5 or 6 months.
Yeah, and it was about the same sort of time as Lacey. So she must be due back as well, because she posts a lot of videos on Insta of her training and working out.
I just did want to mention, because I mentioned it to Nat, and Nat went, no, I didn't pick up on that. Maybe it was just me. Rhonda seemed a bit off. I don't know what it was. Like, her entrance, and when she was walking up the ramp afterwards, that felt like she was trying to not show that she was feeling emotional, because she was
trying to keep in character. You could tell.
Yeah, but
the badass
all the fans are cheering her, and that's what she's always wanted. And she was supposed to be a babyface last time, but they all booed her.
Yeah,
and then they turned a heel, and obviously her coming back, she didn't know. She didn't know whether she was going to get booed or cheered.
Yeah,
and obviously it was a pretty unanimous. They popped like hell when her music came out, and all the for all these bloody social media warriors saying how awful it was Ronda Rousey in it. 44,500 fans in that arena loved it. They went apeshit when she'd won. But it was afterwards. It was after she'd won it and she was stood in the ring. It something just didn't feel right. It was like she wasn't in the moment. It was. I don't know. I don't know what it was. I don't know. It was like she. I don't know. Something happened in that match. She's thinking, "Shit, I've now got a main event WrestleMania in a couple of months, and I'm not ready." Is she realised in that match, I've come back too soon after having a baby, and I don't feel fit enough. I don't know, but something just didn't quite feel right. It felt like something was wrong. She just looked pissed off.
But what about maybe they cut it short. I'm wondering whether she goes, oh, we were supposed to wrestle a bit more here, and they've called it sooner than expected. But we'll get on. The next match, obviously, then was obviously Edge and Beth versus Miz and Maurice.
It was what it was. It was what anybody that had a problem with that match, grow up.
Yeah.
Because if you're expecting a 5-star banger from that,
no,
you don't know wrestling. That was always going to be exactly what that match was. It was never going to be anything better or anything worse.
I said to my wife, Edge and Beth are winning it. You couldn't see it any other way. The way that they've all built it, it was like, do you really see Edge or Beth taking a loss to these two? Really?
No. They're very, very polar opposite as well, because after they'd won, Beth just put her hand on his shoulder. There's no hugging and kissing with them, whereas Miz and Maurice are always hugging and kissing. And for me, you're married, I'm engaged.
Yeah.
Edge and Beth feels more realistic.
Yeah.
That to me feels like, I know that Miz and Maurice are married. What I'm saying is, Miz and Maurice kissing each other, that's probably forced and scripted and part of the character, because I just don't think you would. If you were stood in the ring, you wouldn't. I wouldn't anyway. That to me, that's a proper married couple right there. Edge and Beth going, well done, love. Yeah, right, come on, let's go and have a brew. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, it was
Was
what it
what
was.
it was. Yeah, yeah, definitely it was what it was. And then it
You
was
know.
obviously the men's.
Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to say, it, it's a bit of a nostalgia hit with you've got to think how long they've. It's difficult to use the word nostalgia because
It was a
Edge has been
fun
back
match
for a
sort of
while.
thing. It was like,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, we'll
yeah,
go out and have fun. And
yeah, exactly. Like it was two real life married couples, having a match against each other,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it was never going to be anything more.
All
It,
right,
it
fine.
was it was enjoyable for what it was. If you're expecting that match to be, you know,
Anything? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
anything other than what it was, yeah, and yet then obviously the
The
men's one.
men.
But I mean, to be honest, the first point, Vince McMahon clearly knows what he's doing with his choice of commentary because he very, very wisely made sure Pat McAfee did both Rumble matches
Yeah,
because usually Raw will do one and SmackDown will do the other.
no, yeah,
No.
no.
They made sure McAfee was calling both because he's so funny.
He's so good.
I love him. I absolutely love him. He's
But
amazing.
he's got a massive future ahead of him in that company. He ain't going
Yeah.
nowhere.
No,
He's
that's him now. He won't do anything. Obviously, me and you were and ahhing about would Corey Graves make an entrance.
yeah.
Obviously, he's cleared now. Obviously, it didn't happen, but
But there
yeah,
was a load of things in that, like Johnny Knoxville. I didn't really need Shane. Do we really need Shane McMahon?
it was a surprise. You've got to give him that. Like, but I'm with you.
Didn't
Did
really
we
do
need
anything.
Shane McMahon?
Yeah.
Like,
I like
but
Rick Rouge as well, but once again, do we really need him?
I like Rick Boogs, in what's difficult is he suits that. He's big. He's really, mate. He's freakishly powerful. My
Yeah, oh yeah,
God, he really is. But like you said, like Street Profits, Otis and Gable, like why are they like? Do they need to be in the Royal Rumble match? No, they don't. You could have had some NXT guys get some experience there. You should Walter, Ciampa, Pete Dunne, LA Knight. Give them a go.
yeah,
You know. But obviously they didn't. I mean, Kane was announced in the match.
yeah.
He wasn't. He didn't turn up.
I was surprised as well because they also obviously had Undertaker backstage as well because
Yeah,
there was loads of photos of him backstage, and I was like,
with
imagine if,
Bad Bunny.
or they done the Brothers of Destruction.
Yeah,
You know, one come out and then the next one come out.
yeah. But obviously, Undertaker said, "I'm retired. I'm coming to watch. My wife is there. I'm coming to support my wife." I think he's done. I think Undertaker's done. I think
Yeah,
that's it. I think he knows himself. He will get that bug. If he comes out and he gets that pop from that crowd, fucking hell, Taker's here. He'll get that bug back. And he knows his body can't do it anymore. I
yeah,
think what he's worried about is if he comes out once as a surprise, he'll get that itch.
yeah,
And that'll be it then. And then he'll be, let's have one more match. That match could be the one that fucking
yeah.
paralyzes him.
Finishes him.
He is absolutely fucked. He's
Yeah.
basically half robot now. He's got that much metal in him.
But yeah,
Yeah,
obviously the other surprise was obviously McIntyre because we all
Bad
knew his
Bunny.
neck injury, and we thought I was like, oh my god! And it was great at the end because you had the last time we had Brock Lesnar and obviously
McIntyre.
McIntyre, yep, in the ring together like that was the
Claymore
last
kicks his head off.
Royal Rumble. Well, the last Royal Rumble they were in, and
Yeah,
McIntyre threw him out,
yeah.
and it was
Well,
like
no, Claymore kicked him out.
Yeah, did you hear him as well? He said, "We've been here before. We've been here before. There's a
Yeah,
few more people here now, though. What are you going to do
yeah,
about it?" And got right into it. I thought that was cool. Well, that was really good.
yeah.
But
It was. But I, with the men's ones, I've been really thinking about this. What is hard is me and you can go fucking hell, bring Braun back.
yeah,
But what if Braun has said no? Like
yeah,
this is what. So you're telling me Joe Knox was in there when they could have put a phone call into Jericho or Braun Strowman or Bray Wyatt, bring them back. Maybe they have.
Yeah.
Maybe Vince has personally gone, Bray, and Bray's gone. You don't know. I am telling you now, 100%. Braun and Bray, Vince will have rang them.
Yeah. I reckon there was a lot of phone calls made.
And I think they both want to do different things.
Yeah. Braun Strowman's already come out. I think it was last week. He actually said he put a post up. I think it was on Instagram saying that if he does go anywhere, he's looking to work part time. He doesn't want to do full time ever again.
No. And why would you?
Yeah, exactly. He's got his own businesses as well. So
yeah, but Kev, this is Mox all over again, right? And what is hard now is people are seeing the brighter side of life, and people that do go to AEW. When I said Mox might come back in the future, I mean a one-off.
Yeah,
it will be a one-off moment to get the fans going fucking apeshit. You might, in 2 or 3 years' time, it might be Seth and Roman in the ring with each other, and them getting battered by somebody. It might be a new trio, a new Shield that we have not met yet. It could be Bron Breakker, fucking Haaland, and Joe Gacy. They could be the new Shield, and they're destroying everything. And then Mox comes out and helps. It'll be a one-off surprise show if it happens. Why would you, having gone through that cog, that machine, when you're a cog in a very big machine that is WWE, that grind, why would you go through that, then see the other side of it? John Moxley, or John Good, the guy, John says, I want to stay at home with my wife and daughter. No, I'm having a few weeks off.
A lot of people refer to it as the COVID effect, don't they? You know, we had COVID and a lot of people stayed at home. And then they went, actually, I prefer this. And sort of people are like, well, I'd like to work from home now. I don't really want to go in the offices 5 days a week. And I think the same things happened in WWE. I think everyone thought, well, this is wrestling. This is wrestling at the top. They've left and gone, fuck me, actually, I could do this part-time and still do it and still get the same enjoyment out of it, if you know what I mean. Exactly. It doesn't have to be sort of hard labour.
I'm not killing it. Exactly. Like Moxley said on Chris Jericho's podcast, me and Nat were talking about this last night, and I want your opinion on it. John Moxley said on Chris Jericho's podcast that he got handed his last meeting with Vince. He got handed by Vince McMahon himself an envelope with a figure in that was how much Vince McMahon was willing to pay him. And Dean said, I walked out of Vince's office, I ripped it up and threw it in the trash. And Chris Jericho laughed and went, you didn't even open it. And he went, no, why would I? I wasn't interested. I didn't care. He said, I didn't care how much Vince McMahon paid me. I made my mind up. I was going. Do you know what I said to that, Kev? Fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Dean. I love you. John, sorry. You're talking out of your ass. He didn't open that because he'd have gone, fuck me, I can't turn that down.
Yeah, it's the same with Jericho and people like that, where they've left on good terms for WWE, and they've gone, well, AEW's offering me this, and WWE offering me this. Well, it's more money to go to AEW, less dates, better lot. And he's gone, and Vince has put out around. He goes, oh, I've been given this, and Vince has gone, well, go where the money is. He goes, I can't offer you that.
Mark Henry and Big Show. Mark Henry and Big Show do the same.
You got to think a lot of them are very business savvy. A lot of the wrestlers, and they all got away where the money is. Vince said it before years ago when WCW was there, and you had Bret Hart, and he goes, they're offering me this in WCW, and Vince went, oh, I can't offer you that. You go to WCW, you go and have fun. You go where the money is. It's better. So like you said, I guarantee he looked at it and went, really?
No, I don't. No, I genuinely think he ripped it up and threw it in the trash, because I'm telling you now, Dean Ambrose, John, he knew if he'd have opened that, he'd have seen an obscene amount of money, and Vince McMahon would have offered him at that time, I would say, the biggest single contract he's probably ever offered out, because the Shield were his money machine. He didn't
And
want.
that's also as well. I want to just point out that they've moved Big E now to the New Day on SmackDown, and that proves as well. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it! They've ruined Big E." Well, no, because Big E's the New Day is worth more money. You can tell that because they could have had them do single runs on both shows and kept it as that, but they wanted the New Day, and obviously Elijah's not there. I think if Elijah was there, Big E wouldn't have moved. And I think I think the New Day as a whole are more sellable, if you know what I
of
mean.
course
And
they are. Yeah, they are. 100% they are. But I'm telling you now, I believe that he ripped it up and threw it in the trash. I just don't buy into the fact that, I didn't open it because I was already done and I was always leaving and it didn't matter anyway. Bollocks. You didn't open that and it was the right thing to do, but he didn't open it because if he opens that and he goes, okay, now it's a 5-year contract and I'm getting 20 million. You can't turn it down.
No.
You can't. You physically, I'm telling you now, Goldberg doesn't want to wrestle anymore. You can see it. He doesn't want to do it anymore. But he gets a phone call and Vince goes, one night, I'll give you $1 million. And he goes, how can I turn down $1 million for one night's work? You can't.
The same way with the Saudis as well. When they said, I mean, Jericho even said it as well, and they went, "Oh, loads of people have put, oh, WWE going out of business, AEW is going to be going out of business," and they're like, "Really? They can do one night in Saudi, and that'll pay for the whole year. They could buy AEW for the amount of money they make just from the one show in Saudi."
Yeah.
So that's why they do it. It's not because they want to, and that it's because, mate, they're fucking money.
Yeah,
I reckon it's nearly $1 billion for them to go over there.
Oh,
they get treated like kings over there as well, and it's like they said they could probably buy AEW twice over with the amount of money they make from that one pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's nuts. It is absolutely nuts. But you know, going back to the original point, which was Strowman. Strowman has now seen, oh my God, I'm fit, I'm healthy. I'm not fucking passing out in showers from exhaustion.
Yeah.
Like, he goes, oh my God. He probably will wrestle, but he'll do it on his terms. It might be Impact, it might be AEW, might even be WWE. But I'm telling you now, if Braun Strowman or Bray Wyatt, I think the same goes for both of them.
Yeah.
They, like you've just said, a lot of them now have to be very business savvy. Bray and Braun, both of them, if they got contacted by Vince, they would say, I want it in my contract. I get X amount of days off. Finn Balor basically almost ruined his own career because he asked for a month off to go and get married. Like, this is what WWE is. You don't get time off.
No.
Like, if you turn around to Vince and go, I need some time off, he goes, what's the matter with you?
Yeah.
Why do you need time off? And it's like, if you turn around to me and said, because I've wrestled virtually every single night for you for the last 5 years straight, I've not had a fucking week off in 5 years, I need to rest. I need a month off. Well, if you have a month off TV, that's it. Everyone will forget about you and, blah, blah, blah. And it's just very, very, very old school. Whereas AEW, even though the visual product that they want to put out is very, very old school in the way it was back in the day, the actual aesthetic of the company and what the company stands for is very modern.
Yeah.
And it very much is, they say to all of them, they said to Punk, that they said to Mox, Jericho, you pick your schedule.
And we'll work with that. Yeah.
You can be on every Dynamite and Rampage for a year. I don't care. But then if you go, I want 3 months off. All right, see you in 3 months.
Yeah.
You work when you want to work. Earn that money when you want to. If you feel like you need a week off, a month off, 6 months off, it doesn't matter. However much time you feel you need off, if you need to rest your body and recover physically, if you need to rest your mind, and recover mentally, take it. Both companies are set up very, very differently, and I think AEW are run better that way than WWE, because I find WWE, especially Vince, the strangest company I think I have ever encountered, because they don't make sense. They're so strict in certain aspects. Like, they wouldn't clear they wouldn't clear Daniel Bryan. Wouldn't clear him. Nope, you're not cleared. It went and got cleared by 12 different specialists.
And Sting as well. They wouldn't clear Sting as well. So
Yeah, wouldn't clear Sting. Sting went straight to AEW. I'm like, you're fine. Paige, I think it was about 4 or 5 years ago. Paige, actually herself went to Impact to just say, "What this is what I'm struggling with. What if I want to continue my wrestling career? What would happen?" Putting the feelers out there, and Impact was like, "We'd clear you," but Paige wants to stay within WWE. She wants to work for WWE.
Yeah.
2 years ago, she signed a 10-year contract. They don't even use her.
No.
She's still under contract with them. She's under contract, so she can't go anywhere else. But they're obviously paying her a certain amount. But this is what I don't make sense. They give her a 10-year contract, which will be obviously enough amount of money for her to live on for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
So they shall stay there, and they're doing that because they don't want her to wrestle for someone else. Apparently, a couple of the AEW specialists 12 months ago tried to get her, and she went for a full day of testing, and they was like, "You're fine. We would clear you tomorrow. You could come and wrestle for us tomorrow." AEW cleared her, and again, she's not gone there. She's staying loyal to WWE. So you kind of got to ask yourself, Vince and WWE do not make any fucking sense. They're so strict with certain things. Other companies are clearing Paige. No, we're not clearing you.
It's the same with Mustafa Ali. He's asked for his release, and they've gone, we're not going to grant it. Really? Because
why?
Yeah, because Tony Storm did and granted it straight away. So did Jeff Hardy.
I would say there's probably 10 or 12 of those releases that weren't releases. They went, I want to go on all. And he's gone, all right. Signed off. There you go.
Mustafa Ali's gone,
I don't know why.
Nah.
Yeah, but why? They don't even use him. They don't use him. Why? I don't. Again, this is what I'm saying. They don't make sense because they won't clear Paige, but they'll pay her a lot of money. And they're clearly paying her a lot of money because she wouldn't have signed a 10-year contract if it weren't a nice amount of money. So they're paying her to not wrestle, not even not wrestle. She's not general manager anymore. She doesn't do anything.
No.
She's not involved at all, but they're paying her every month just to stop her going wrestling somewhere else because they know she'd get cleared somewhere else.
I'm wondering if they're going to bring her back as a manager because now what's happened with Sonya.
Yeah, but what I don't understand is what I'm trying to say is what they don't make sense is they're doing all this to Paige, but then they run Braun Strowman into the ground and nearly kill him. They run Dean Ambrose in the ground and nearly kill him. They run CM Punk into the ground and nearly kill him. It's the complete polar opposite.
Yeah,
when you look at what happened to Punk and Dean Ambrose and Braun Strowman and Buddy Murphy and people like that, it looks like they do not give a fuck about human life, mental health or physical health at all. It's like Vince goes, go out there, fucking wrestle. If you're in pain, take a few painkillers, get out there, do your fucking job. It's so unbelievably harsh and cruel. And it's like he has no regard for human health at all. But then he won't clear Daniel Bryan when others will. He won't clear Edge when he actually got cleared years before by an independent doctor. The same with Paige. The same with Sting. I don't get it. Why are they so strict with certain things and then almost baffling how the fact that Braun Strowman collapsed and he could have died in that shower. Like, if he'd have fallen the other way, which is what he said, if he'd have fallen that way, it'd have fallen through a glass door.
Yeah.
Like, my fiance's grandma, her next door neighbor, literally died that way. Her next door neighbor was having a shower, passed out, fell through the glass shower, a bit of glass went in the neck, and they were dead.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand how they can run people to that point where they nearly break, but then Paige, you're not cleared. Doesn't make sense.
No. But look, shall we leave it there?
Yeah, let's leave it there,
Yeah. I think, it's been a good cast. Look, I've been the Nexus.
I've been Dan.
And obviously we'll catch you all at the next video.
Yeah, we'll see you in the next one, guys.